real big, real big, real big. Who would ever thought that we would feel big?
Never would have made it. Never would have made it without you. You're the highlight of my life. You're the sunshine in my night. Oh wow, how do I ever repay you?
Good evening. My name is Dr. Wadner Normil. On behalf of the class of 2020, it is my pleasure to welcome the GSHAC community, parents, siblings, friends, loved ones, to the 2020 GSHAC graduation celebration. Wherever you may be right now around the world, I want to thank you for tuning in to witness and to celebrate this special occasion with the class of 2020. I believe you all have played a role, small or big, in shaping each of these graduates into the people they are today and guiding them along the way. For this and much more, they are grateful. En dépit de cette situation rébarbative que le monde entier se trouve, je parle de la crise du COVID-19. Par la grâce de Dieu, par leur effort assidu et l'encouragement de leurs parents, nos gradués ont pu atteindre leur objectif aujourd'hui. Nous voulons célébrer avec eux. To get started, let's hear a little bit from our graduates about their journey.
One of my favorite hobbies would be playing soccer, especially at the rec. That's my favorite spot on campus.
You know, those exams, those quizzes every week. So it's been a tough journey, but interesting at the same time because we have like sessions, 8 weeks sessions. It goes so fast, so you have to be on it.
One of my favorite hobbies would be being outside, whether it be walking, running, or just like looking at nature. I like to be outside because I feel like it gives me like good energy, I believe.
I love to play sports. So I was in high school, I was in 3 sports, track, football, and basketball. So that's my main thing, the training for.
Well, one of my favorite hobbies is playing sports. I love sports. I'm always active. I love to move around, love to run. And so I've played basketball, football throughout my high school career.
One of my favorite hobbies is hanging out with my family and friends because they just make life better as it is, and it's always a good time when I am around them.
One of my favorite hobbies is to listen to music because, I like just finding new things to listen to. Music sounds really good, so yeah.
One of my favorite hobbies is hanging out with my siblings and playing soccer. I love to play soccer with a lot of my friends. I used to play soccer over here at church until, everyone just stopped coming.
Need to hang out with friends, hang out with people at church, be involved with my church. Those are some of my favorite hobbies.
I like to make beats and I like editing videos.
One of my favorite hobbies would be, but it's nothing new. I like music, so I make music, whether that be produce or play an instrument. So anything music related, I'll be doing that.
One of my favorite hobbies would be interning with Spectrum Autism Support Group. I interned with them for the whole year, and it was a lot of fun, but during quarantine, probably playing The Sims 4.
So I really enjoy running and playing instruments. I play the oboe and the piano.
One would be working as a fitness attendant at the recreational center at Georgia State. Being around a lot of group of students and also staff, and learning from them as a faculty. It's a really good experience, and to put that on my resume, so that would be one of the great experiences I would say at Georgia State University.
Chamberlain has been, like 3 years experience for me to be driving so far, like 30 miles away to go to classes, and traffic, that's, it takes me like 2 hours to go, like to get back home after school. Yeah, traffic is tough. So this is like a huge experience for me. Yeah.
There was this, I have culinary arts, and there was this one time where we had a event for Valentine's Day, and I was one of the people who was supposed to be in the back to like help cook and everything, and I was back there with a few of my friends, and we also had other people there as like backup and stuff like that, just in case things didn't go according to plan. And there was this one point where all of us were just like so tired, and all of the heat got to us, and what we decided to do was go back to our chef's room and just like chill there and just like have fun.
One main experience I would say is when I played basketball. The crowd, just everybody, and actually playing in, so that was my favorite thing.
Dunking on boys!
My junior year, so last year, the basketball team, we made it to the Final Four, which is, it was history, in our school. Winning the Elite Eight was history. Making it to the playoffs and making it past the first round of playoff was history last year. And so we made that happen, and it was just amazing to see the guys who've been playing at that school for so long to finally make it to the playoffs, to the state playoffs, Elite Eight, Final Four. It was just great. It was amazing.
One of my favorite memories would be the Grayson versus Archer game. And it's something that everyone always looks forward to if you go to either of those schools. It's a big rivalry game. And I just remember just running across the field after the kick was blocked. And honestly, it had to be one of the greatest feelings in my life, just to know that we beat Archer once again.
One of my favorite memories were seeing like Friday Night Lights and like going to basketball games and all that, hanging with my friends. Those moments were like really had lasting impacts on me.
Well, since we didn't have a prom, one of my favorite memories would be Archer homecoming, because it was just a day. It was basically our last event before finishing high school, because we didn't have a prom, so we didn't really get to experience everything else all the classes before us got.
I would say my favorite memory is creating the Black Student Union in my club with a few of my friends. It was really cool to know that we could form a community at our school and see the club grow.
I had to say when I created my first video for Target Vision.
One memory from Mountain View High School had to be 2 years ago. I think I'll be in 10th grade. I'm get a little religious. It was a morning breakfast time. Everybody just started getting a large circle. A large circle was being formed, and I went over and checked it out. And I seen that it was a prayer circle, and it took the entire, the cafeteria. And so I joined it. It was different, because something you would never see in a public high school. You know what I'm saying? So I've never seen it happen before. After that. And I'm glad that I joined. I made the decision to join it because ever since then, it taught me to never be ashamed of what I believe in.
My favorite memory would be from this past February, where I participated in my school's international night. So we decorated regions and I participated in Caribbean. So that was a lot of fun, decorating with friends, and then the music, the dances, the food. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So starting my junior year, I began to host these video game fundraiser tournaments for Relay for Life. And just, planning it was a real hassle, and promotion, getting pictures and posters up. But once the day actually came, and hosting and running the tournament, it was really fun seeing everybody there that came out. And it was really nice bringing this community of people together from not just my school, but from schools in the surrounding area.
Oh yeah, it was tough, especially as a senior, taking 5 classes, which is 13 credit hours. It's pretty tough, and taking all those classes online could be very depressing. But I was able to finish strong. But I kind of miss being in school, just because being around my friends, it actually motivates me to be better and also to learn more. But at the same time, as far as the fees coming up for transportation, food on campus, I kind of like it at home because it's free food, less expensive. So more money in your pockets. So yeah.
This is my senior year, so it happens at the last semester, where we had to do exams, major exams every week, and they converted everything, to be at home. So we have to study to stay home, and then take those exams at home, and then we did clinicals also at home, and where you spend 6 hours in front of the computer doing clinical at home. So this is not, it's not easy. It's not easy, but we were almost there.
It's had a really big impact on me. Work is a lot more challenging because when you're at school, you get a hands-on approach with your teachers. You can go to tutoring if you have any questions about something. But now that the COVID-19 has struck, there are times where teachers don't respond to your emails. There are times where teachers don't respond because internet is slow and stuff like that. So it's had a really big impact, but I'm getting through it. So we're here.
First of all, I haven't been able to experience all the big things everyone always talks about. They always say senior year is your most fun year, but they always talk about it really being the second semester. So I didn't get to get my senior prom, no senior week. Luckily we got a senior skip day, but I haven't been able to talk with people. School during school online is just you're doing school, you don't get to see your friends.
The coronavirus affected a lot of people's senior year. Obviously, we were looking to senior gifts, senior week, senior things that the school had planned for us. Something fun, and it's just not going to be the same anymore. To not really get that senior fun that we were hoping for. Even graduation, it has been rescheduled, but still, everyone had plans and all that, and just to see it get canceled is kind of sad. But we're still alive, we're still here, we're still grateful, so I'm cool with it.
One way that Corona has affected my school experience is that getting used to doing everything online. Most of our school assignments that we do, yes, some of them are online, but just having your classes purely online, and staying at home, waking up, and not having a regular school schedule like you usually do took a little of adjusting.
Well, the coronavirus made like everything boring at first, but it made school pretty easy doing everything online. Usually I worked on my friends and all that, so it wasn't as bad, but it was still kind of bad because I didn't get to finish it off.
Honestly, it's just been the drive to learn. Like, the drive to learn was just lost. Like, before you go to school, knowing you'll learn something now, you just wake up, check your phone. A lot of people, what are the answers to this? Who has the answers to that? Now it's not the same.
It was really hard adjusting to online school, doing public school all my life. So it was hard to adjust because you have all the distractions at home. You can do your work at literally any time. So it was really hard. And all the senior stuff was taken away from us. So that really sucked.
My past 3 years, I didn't go to prom or homecoming. This year was the plan to go, but I didn't go, so. And the lack of communication with teachers was just bad, so that's it.
When Corona started, it didn't really, me personally, didn't impact it too much just because I've already been involved in full-time dual enrollment, so all of my classes were online. But other than that, it did take away from the drive of wanting to continue with school and really be into it, because I'll be waking up late every morning. But other than that, still had to stick to it because life moves on, so I had to move on.
So it really was unfortunate that I didn't get any of the senior activities like senior movie night or senior breakfast. Like, I was really anticipating that since freshman year, so I kind of it's like, oh man, but it is what it is, and I'm glad that I graduated a little bit earlier technically, since I finished like 2 weeks ago, so that was nice.
Unfortunately, I've had to miss out on a lot of the senior things that I've been looking forward to, like my senior prom. I was very excited. I finally had a date this time around, and I was ready, and then canceled. And then the senior breakfast, senior letters, all that stuff canceled. And it's extremely unfortunate because that's like, for people that said senior year was fun, I didn't really have that much fun. So I was really waiting for this stuff that people said was actually fun, and now it's just canceled.
Oh yes, I do have a lot. First thing first, surround yourself with like good people and people that wants to learn, and people that have the same mentality as you. So build some experiences. College it's not all about grades, getting the highest grades, but at the same time, get connections, and also participate in clubs. A lot of clubs. For myself, I think I participate in at least 4 clubs on campus, which gets me involved a lot of times. And also get in touch with your professors, because the professors are the number one. The professors. My friend. Yeah, they get your grades. True that. Also, just email them. If you have any questions about your grades or anything you may be wondering about your major and things like that, just email them. They're there for you. So, yeah.
This is a nice experience. If you really love nursing, you need to love it. You need to put love in it. If you go there for the money, you're not gonna like it. So if you really like it, you put your love, your everything in it, you'll make it. You'll make it. So it's a nice experience. I will, encourage them to go to nursing, because right now they need a lot of nurses. There's a shortage of nursing right now. So anybody who wants to go, they can, we can benefit from the care, the money also. Some people go to nursing for money, but you need to have, the love for nursing.
I have 2 main tips for advice. My first tip is choose very good friends. I know that you've heard this over and over, but it really does make the difference because to me, the way I look at it is if you have a group of friends and you're the smartest one out of your group, then something needs to change. Because when you have a group of friends, you should be able to go to them to ask them questions to figure out, hey, how do you do this? Hey, I need advice on this. So definitely choose your friends wisely. And my second advice is stick with God, because you and me, all these graduates, we wouldn't be here if God wasn't part of it. So stick with God the whole way through. You might not stick 100%, but God will always be there 100%.
I would say that whenever you make decisions, think about them more than once. Just think about it. Think to yourself, is this the right decision I need to be making? That's one of the good things to say.
Well, to the people that's going to high school or going into the senior year, I have to say, enjoy your high school, because it's going to pass by so fast. I feel like it's just yesterday I came in to the U.S., and started my sophomore year, and here I am now. It's a crazy feeling. So I would say enjoy it, have fun, keep up your work, and always keep God close by.
For kids who are already in high school, I'm gonna say that focus on your work and get that done first before anything. Even if you're going to become a senior or upperclassman, make sure you get all your work done and all your grades right before, and then have fun later. And for kids who are going into high school, I would say find a group of friends that you can go into high school with, and find people that you're comfortable around, because it is a new surrounding, and it's always good to be around people that make you feel most comfortable in a new environment.
Well, all you high schoolers now, make sure you study, do all your work first before you go out or anything. Make sure everything is intact, all your grades are in order. Yeah, it should be pretty easy from there.
For the people in middle school, going to high school, I say choose your solid 3 friends that you know you're going to stick with all throughout high school. And stay out of drama, because just having your name tarnished like that is a really bad thing. A lot of people knowing you for drama causing or fighting is really bad, so stay out of that. And for the people who are already in high school, I advise them, finish your work, stay focused, don't try to be the popular kid, just be yourself.
For the students that are going to be seniors, I say stay on top of your college applications, because those will pile up really fast. And for the people that are entering high school, make sure you start forming good relationships with your teachers, because you never know when you'll need them for a recommendation, or you need that grade to go up just 1 point.
I have to say, just do your work, stay on top of it, and you can have fun afterwards.
So for students entering high school, I would say plan early, take your SATs early, ACT early, make sure that you stay on track with your GPA, because once you have that foundation from the very beginning, it will pay off at the end and you'll have a relaxed junior and senior year.
Okay, so people students from middle school going to high school, number one thing, keep your circle small. Keep it as small as possible. Make sure you have that close friend or 2 to keep you going through it, because it's hard. It gets hard. Emotionally, it gets hard. So keep that good, trustworthy friend, but keep your circle very small and stay out of the mix. And for high school students that are already in it, you already know what's good with it. So basically, cliche, do your work. Make sure all of that is done before anything. It's more important than going out with friends. They should understand too, you know what I'm saying? Get your work done. If it's not done, you can't go hang out, you can't chill. You know what I'm saying? So get your priorities straight. That's number 1. You should be good.
So for people who are going to be a senior, I would say, get those college applications done in the fall. Try and do early admission for as many colleges as you can. And to be on the lookout for scholarships even as early as September, because a lot of really big ones close extremely early. And for students that are entering high school for middle school, I would say that, to take your work very seriously and like from the beginning of your freshman year, instead of trying to do the bare minimum, pursue excellence and to perform to the greatest of your abilities.
So my next plan is to get a job first, work for at least a year, and then go back to school for either my master's or my PhD. Because I'm interested in a lot of things, so I was thinking about either athletic training or physical therapy. So either of those two, whichever accepted me first, that's where I'll go.
Now I can breathe. This is a second major for me. I did early childhood. I work as in daycare for 20 years, about 20 years. This is a second major for me. So for now I want to work. I want to spend some time with my kids because those 3 years, it's been hard. My time away from the family, being a mom, I work also, being an employee, being a wife, being a student. So it's a lot. So I'll suggest everybody who wants to go to nursing to get ready because it's a tough ride.
I want to get a job in the healthcare industry and software development. I'll be going to Georgia Gwinnett College.
I haven't decided on a college yet. I've applied to a bunch, but I will be studying exercise science and kinesiology. But I'm planning on walking on to one of the school's football teams. So I gotta make a decision on the school soon.
Well, I will be majoring in construction management. That's part of the architecture field, and so stuff with building houses. I love that sort of stuff, and that's just what I plan to major in. I have a couple schools in line, but I have not made a decision yet. And so in the next couple of weeks, I should be making that, kind of figure out where I want to go. I do know I will be going out of state, hopefully. And so just go visit around.
For my next plans, I will be going to college for software design, and I will be either going to Georgia State or GGC.
I'll be going to Kennesaw State University to major in criminal justice.
My next plans are to go to either Kennesaw State or Columbus State University and study criminal justice.
My plans after high school is to go to the University of Massachusetts, Boston, and I'll be majoring in early childhood education.
I'm gonna pursue being a musical engineer, and I'm gonna study about quantum physics, and then I'm gonna plan on going to either Georgia State or Gwinnett Tech.
My plans after I graduate is to pursue my career in accounting, my accounting major, and I'll be going for my master's. You'll see me for my master's again in the next 4 years. Keep that on the low. But accounting major and minoring in audio engineering as well.
So next year I plan on attending Tufts University in Massachusetts, and I'll be majoring in neuroscience.
In the fall, I will be attending Morehouse College to study accounting.
I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. For the world we're gonna make.
Good afternoon, graduates. My name is Gregory Aristide, and it is an honor to be addressing you on behalf of the GSHAC class of 2020. I think I can speak for all of my fellow high school graduates when I say that this all feels very strange now that we're all here. All of our lives, we've watched other people graduate from the church and have their ceremonies, and it's really strange, and it's a weird feeling now that it's finally our turn. But rather than letting that translate to fear, we should let it translate to joy. Because despite all the dangers that people that look like us face out in the world, the Lord has delivered us to our church's rite of passage. Today, I would like to share with you 3 pieces of advice that I learned throughout my time at high school. During my junior year of high school, the students of my academy were tasked with making a capstone project. This project could be anything we wanted as long as working on the project took the span of an entire semester. As a few of my friends at the church know, I'm a big fan of video game tournaments. So I decided to solely host and coordinate a video game fundraiser tournament. However, when I began to post posters up in the school, I began to become the subject of seemingly endless belittling from random students on my way to class. This may continue with my project seemingly impossible and very discouraging. And when I thought of quitting, a friend of mine approached me and consoled me, saying to not listen to the vocal minority. Now you may be wondering, Greg, what's the point? My reason is because my first piece of advice is to take pride in yourself and what you identify with. I ended up fundraising for Relay for Life, which is an organization dedicated to raising money to fight cancer. And my tournaments over the course of my junior and senior year raised almost $1,000, something that very few students at Lanier High School can ever say that they've done. For us GSHAC graduates, when we enter the world, we must stay firm and take pride in our background, especially when there will be many on college campuses ready to challenge our long-held beliefs. My second piece of advice is to stay focused and to do everything you do with excellence in mind. While doing the bare minimum is certainly easy, challenging yourself and going above and beyond is much more rewarding in the long run. There will eventually come a time where you will be needed to perform something meticulously and to craft it with care, and when the time comes, you will want to be well equipped to do so. There will also come times when you're assigned to complete a task in a group, whether it be in school or in the workplace. Unfortunately, in some instances, not everyone will do their part, as I'm sure some of my fellow graduates know from their time in high school as well. But regardless, when something is going to have your name on it, take pride in making sure the finished product is polished and is something that will represent you and your brand in a positive light. My third and last piece of advice, while cliche, is to enjoy your journey. Throughout high school, I pursued so many things, being president of 2 clubs and an active member of many more, while balancing a full class load, as well as participating in track and field. I took on all of these responsibilities so that I could be well celebrated during graduation with many cords and such. However, in doing so, I sacrificed many Friday night lights, time with friends and family, and a potential romantic endeavor. This was made even more painfully clear to me with the arrival of the COVID-19 pandemic. Lots of the fun things in store for the end of my senior year were unfortunately cut short, further leading me to wonder of what could have been. Nevertheless, we must remind ourselves that this too shall pass, and remember the promise made to us from the Lord in Jeremiah 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, plans for you to prosper and plans for you to have a future. Finally, I'd like to thank my family, friends, and my church for all they've collectively done to mold me into the young adult I am today. Thank you. And congratulations, class of 2020. We've made it.
Ladies and gentlemen, now let's introduce our keynote speaker of the day, Wilnia Aristide. She's a doctoral candidate at Piedmont College in Education. She's a graduate from Kirkland Leadership Course 2018-2020, graduate from Leadership Academic at Sycamore 2015-2016, education specialist at Piedmont College 2012, Master of Arts in Instruction and Curriculum at Kean University 2004, Bachelor of Arts History at Kean University 1999. She's married to Roman Aristide for 19 years, mom to Gregory and Emily. She's a director of Family Foundation at Good Samaritan Asian Alliance Church. She's a vice president at Elope Mission. She currently works as an educator for Gwinnett County Public School. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Wilnia Aristide.
Class of 2020, you have made it. How remarkable are you? In a short 2-week span of time, you have managed to come back home, set up your learning environment, you have managed to study at home, and you have reached a milestone that we call graduation. So congratulations, Class of 2020. Today, I would like to share with you 3 pieces of advice. 3 things that I take along this journey along with me. First, don't forget your roots. Know where you come from. Don't forget whose shoulders that you stand on. Don't forget who sacrificed it all for you. Today, I stand before you proud as someone who is very proud to be in the education field. At one time, my mother, she carried baskets on her head. Today, I wear an educator's cap. Today, I walk the halls of Gwinnett County as an educator. Back in the day, my mother, she walked the halls of the farmer's market selling vegetables upon her head. So do your parents proud, honor your parents. Once, I remember I found a notebook in a drawer that was kept in my parents' room. Now, what was I doing, snooping through their stuff? Well, at night, I would hear my father speaking to my mom, and I always wondered what was going behind those bedroom doors. And at one time, while in the room, and I found a notebook where I saw practices of my mom's handwriting. And then I was puzzled as to what that was. And, you know, as kids, we put things together, and I realized that it was my father who was teaching my mom how to read and write at nighttime. So that notebook was where she was practicing how to write her name. And I can tell you today, I stand before you in the midst of writing a dissertation, of writing a research paper. So the notebook that my mom was learning how to write her name, and today I'm in the midst of writing a book. So I tell you, those who raised you, honor them. You might think that you have gathered enough smarts, that you gathered degrees upon your wall, but your parents' wisdom and experiences are way beyond the knowledge that you have acquired in the classroom. So don't forget your roots, don't forget where you come from, honor your parents. Point 2, how to handle failures. Failure and disappointment will come upon your way, but it is what do you do when you fail? What are you going to do when you fail that first college course? What are you going to do when you apply for that job and you don't get it? How are you going to deal with that failure? I remember the first time that I saw an F, and that was on my college transcript, my first semester in college. And what I learned through that first failure is that perhaps I should not have been taking 18 credits. Perhaps I should not have, when I failed my first exam in that class, perhaps I should have looked for where on campus, where did they have a tutor. So you will fail in college. You will get a class that will overwhelm you. What did you decide to do after you failed? Did you stay there? Are you going to drop out, or are you going to persevere through? So be assured you will fail. And another time that I can share with you that I remember that I saw as a failure was I took the leadership, educational leadership exam. Now this exam was supposed to give you the opportunity to perhaps, if you were to apply to a school and be a principal, and where you can be a principal, where you can perhaps direct and head a department in a school. And I failed. I took the exam, I failed. Do you know what the passing score was? 250. I got 249. What did I learn from that experience? Perhaps I should have studied. You see, I got too caught up in myself. I got too thinking that I had it going on. So I said, you know what, I'm just gonna go and take the test. And I did, and I failed. And what did I learn from the experience? I learned how to be humble. I learned that it's not through my strength, but it's through God's strength. That He was teaching me how to be humble, how to not be too full of myself. And today, as I fail, I watch myself. I watch myself as to how do I carry myself through that failure. The third piece of advice that I want to give you is to give back. Give back to your community. We here at GSHAC, we prayed for you. We carried you. Come back home. Help carry another. Come back and mentor someone else. Don't take all that you have learned out there at the schools that you have gone to, all the knowledge, all the skills, all the ability. Bring it back home. Serve your community. I was born in Haiti. I left Haiti since the age of 6. And I was always told by my parents as to this community, this neighborhood where I lived, and how it was, my mom lived on one side and my dad lived on one side. And I think that they told me so much about that community that I started to think that their description of the community became my memory. After 35 years, I returned back to Haiti to go see this neighborhood, and it was exactly as I remembered it from my 6-year-old mind and all the other explanations that they had given me. So I saw in that community, the memory of a 6-year-old seems to still be 35 years later, how that community resembled. So God put it upon my heart to give back to that community where I was born, where kids who do not have the opportunity of an education, whereas I have aligned myself with this mission, this group. It's called Elope, and we have adopted 4 schools in the area. And the goal is to help those kids in the area to better themselves, because as you know, education is the key as to if you're looking to get anywhere, education is the key. So I have decided to return back to this community and give back of myself, because you see, that community, that's where I come from. That's where my parents are from. So I have decided that I'm going to go back and give to that community. I remember one of the last conversation I had with my dad, and then he said, you know, Wonya, Nana, bring honor to my name. And I can't think of any other way than to go back to that community and build a school someday where his name is over that school. So, class of 2020, you are the best of the best. The 3 advice that I shared with you today is, so 1, remember your roots. 2, you will fail. 3, give back to your community. So class of 2020, you have shown every one of us as to your strength, because you are the only class that have lived through an epidemic. You have done what no other class before you have done. So we charge you, go out there and be excellent.
At this time, we are going to acknowledge the graduate class of 2020. Going to Morehouse College, major in accounting, graduate from Lanier High School, Gregory Aristide. Going to Kennesaw State University, graduate from Archer High School, Lucas Douarin. College Undecided, major on construction management, graduate from Bethlehem Christian Academy, L'aîné Jean-François. Going to Georgia State University, graduate from Loganville High School, Hilary Lamure. Going to Georgia State University, major in accounting, graduate from Mountain View High School, Zachary Philogene. Going to Kennesaw State University, major in criminal justice, graduate from Archer High School, Ruben Pierre. Going to Georgia Gwinnett College, major in computer science, concentration in software development, graduate from Berkmore High School, Cornelius Rato. College Undecided, but major in exercise science, graduate from Bethlehem Christian Academy, Eliel Saint-Louis. Going to Valdosta State University, graduate from Grayson High School, Richardson Simon. Going to Gordon State College, major in biology, graduate from Central Gwinnett High School, Miles Stover. College Undecided, major music engineer, graduate from Archer High School, Jason Saint-Ville. Going to University of Massachusetts, early childhood education as a major, graduate from Archer High School, Emily Volmar. Going to Tufts University, major in neuroscience, graduate from Gwinnett School of Mathematics, Science and Technology, Olivia Volmar. Graduate from Hope College of Arts and Sciences with an associate degree in nursing, Francesca Dumont. Graduate from Georgia State University with a Bachelor of Science in Economics with a minor in finance, Shamir Felix. Graduate from Kennesaw State University with a Bachelor of Science in Marketing, Kinsley Germain. Graduate from Georgia State University with a Bachelor of Science in Psychology, Sherwood Jean. Graduate from Chamberlain University with a Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Roselaine Montilus. Graduate from Georgia Southern University with a Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology with focus on exercise science, Samantha Thermidor. Graduate from Georgia State University with Bachelor of Science in Exercise Science, Jefferson Toussaint. Graduate from Georgia State University with a Bachelor of Science in Biology, Jonasi Zamor.
Give it up for the class of 2020.